The price of XRP is currently at around 60 cents, and yet it still retains its position among the elite cryptocurrencies in the world. Like every crypto asset out there, it has a growing number of devoted investors who are committed to seeing it rise massively in a bid to earn profit. But the coin has struggled as of late, particularly in 2020. It experienced quite the turmoil in 2019 as well, which was not a good year for the coin. The year 2020 held such promise for the crypto, though it hit a stumbling block when the pandemic ravaged the entire world. However, this was of no apparent harm as other cryptocurrencies too experienced the full strength of the economic downturn. While Bitcoin and other altcoins picked up and began an extended rally after the restrictions were partially lifted in several parts of the world, XRP did not rise significantly until the fourth quarter of 2020. Then and there, the price rose to about 43 cents, and then hitting 55 cents. It held on to this for quite some time before it rose to a whopping 70 cents in December 2020. Things took a turn for the worse towards the close of the year, with the news of the SEC suing Ripple for the sale of illegal securities. Despite not being the subject of the suit, it affected the price of the coin, and since then, it's been responding based on the events that surrounded Ripple. Many have pointed out that XRP could die with Ripple as the lawsuit progresses, but contrary to expectations, the coin's price trend showed it wouldn't swing that way. It showed major spikes and held them for some time, before slipping and then consolidating at a relatively lower but safe price. Welcome back to Make Money Online. Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple's CEO, made a statement about how XRP will continue to trade even in the event that Ripple no longer exists. Today, we'll take a closer look at that statement and what it means for the future of XRP. Don't forget to leave us a like on this video and hit the subscribe button and notification bell to get notifications every time we upload a new video on this channel. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse has once again dropped another encouraging piece of information that bodes well for XRP investors and traders. He's always shown optimism of XRP's chances of making it on its own in the market, and has not hesitated to declare just how little Ripple's influence on XRP is. It appears that with the SEC lawsuit in play, investor sentiment has been haphazardly coordinated, and its overall effect on XRP price trend has been limited to the surrounding noise raised as a result of the crisis. We've all been asking the question, when will XRP be free of this embargo? Garlinghouse has further stressed that XRP remains a free entity and should in no way be affected in any case following the lawsuit. Optimism is still very much in play, but when he was asked whether there is a future for XRP, he emphasized how special the crypto is and said that what really drives XRP is its crop of magnificent investors, users, and hodlers who have remained resilient, and he sees it continue even on the off chance that Ripple Labs ceases to exist. This adds to the list of arguments in the case against classifying the token as a security. The end result of the lawsuit would only affect the company, but XRP will still remain a token, even if the SEC wins the case. Recently, there was a glimmer of hope generated by the dismissal of the Tetragon hearing, and thus Ripple can still hold out for a win in the court setting. While the SEC lawsuit is ominous for XRP and Ripple, it also affects the entire crypto market broadly in the United States, and it's driving that entrepreneurial activity outside of the US. It doesn't bode well for the market. With that being said, Garlinghouse appears to be confident that Ripple will be able to secure a victory over the regulatory watchdog. As reported by You Today, the executive also claimed that XRP would continue trading even if Ripple were to abandon it, regardless of the SEC lawsuit, to underscore why the token is not a security. In addition, Garlinghouse says that he wouldn't want to base his new cryptocurrency company in the US if he were to launch one. The lack of clarity on cryptocurrency is bad for business, and complications like this will keep quelling investor interest and result in major losses. There's already been a huge loss in US markets, and it's hard not to consider what the US environment would be missing if they succeeded in entirely getting rid of the crypto market. Given the initial concerns in that comparison, it's easy to spot the problem. Despite policies with similar cryptocurrencies, the SEC never clarified Ripple's status. With the state of things, one article mentions that XRP's future is difficult to forecast. However, they do compare it with previous situations that have ended well. While the lawsuit could prove expensive, there are still politicians with a friendly attitude towards the cryptocurrency. Therefore, even if the settlement results are disadvantageous for Ripple, they can still survive. Most of its users aren't in the US, While prices are low right now, it might be an excellent chance to invest. Top lawyers, though, see only one way out for XRP, and that's via settlement, as they think the chances of victory are pretty slim. A sympathetic judge would make things much easier. A probable remedy might exist, but it's not known at this time. The additional personal liability charges for Ripple's executives, however, are deemed to be barely capable of holding water. Nevertheless, we already mentioned that Ripple's settlement doesn't have to result in losses. Only 5% of its consumer base is from the US. It all depends on if the court decides Ripple is a security. If they conclude that XRP is a cryptocurrency, exchanges won't face legal consequences for continuing their support. Now, the SEC suit may drag out for years. However, we think that there is a chance that the SEC and Ripple may reach an out-of-court settlement, which can potentially see Ripple's prices skyrocketing again. Even if the US does ban XRP, it doesn't seem to be the end of the coin, as some fear. Many financial institutions from Asian and European countries have taken a liking to the coin, and it's probably going to stay no matter how the SEC lawsuit ends. If you're already invested in this crypto, there is no need to panic sell. Hold on to it. Unless you are already seeing a profit in your investments and don't want to take more risks. XRP USD is about to form this triangle marked with the boundaries in blue. Besides that, XRP USD has the coherent wave count within the formation already completing waves A to B. This movement is the major wave B over the global wave count. Now XRP USD is about to move on with the wave C within the triangle wave count. This wave, C, will move directly into the conformational bounce cluster and test it. This cluster is also extremely crucial to hold and bounce off, because if this doesn't happen, it will invalidate the whole formation. However, when XRP USD manages to bounce from the cluster, this will lead to a great breakout and confirmation of the formation. Taking all these factors into consideration, XRP USD is now in a situation with a lot of potential. Nevertheless, it's imperative to wait on the proper validations before rushing into trades that do not satisfy. After this formation completes, XRP USD will move on with the main wave C to the upside and test the upper remaining resistance. We're waiting to see if the trend will attain a bullish appearance. If it can sustain the price above 45 cents, the XRP USD pair could rise to 55 cents and then to 70 cents. This is an important support to watch out for, because a break below it could signal the bulls are fully back in the game. At this important point, XRP faces strong local resistance of 48 to 50 cents, and there are two paths shown in the chart that it can follow for now. The green path is expected, and there is strong support here and a valid trend line that both support XRP and pump the price to our target to hit 56 cents. Just in case it falls in the red path, if we have a breakout on the trend line and the strong support on 45 cents is broken, then after the retest, we would expect the red path and target would be 40 cents. The overall verdict is that the market is strongly bullish, and the green path is expected to continue. This chart predicts that by the 11th to 12th of March, XRP will finally break above this pattern to 58 to 59 cents as the main targets here. No bullish breakout has been confirmed yet, meaning a breakdown instead of up is still potentially in the cards. We'll be waiting for an obvious breakout one way or the other. However, probability currently favors the bulls slightly. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and click on that notification bell so you can get updates whenever we post a new video. Can we continue to hope the best from XRP? Let us know your thoughts and feelings in the comments section below. Don't forget to check out our other videos, and we'll see you next time.
Hollywood card set.